Hey. You know the vibes. Okay, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Let me bring that up one more second. Hold on. Yes. Okay, this kid is sick.
Yeah.
Right. Let me
That's
pause
really
that for a second.
banging.
Yeah. Yo, Shrilly the boy. Got Jerome in the house.
Yes,
Talk2
sir.
podcast. Listen, you were there listening to Young Shakur new album. What's his album called, man? Hold on. You haven't listened to it yet.
Hey, I've listened to a few tracks, but I've not really felt the whole joint. You know how you sit with an album and you psychoanalyze it.
Mm-hmm.
But the boy's on fire. Shout out to Young Shak.
Young Shakur, Greater Than. I haven't listened to the whole album yet, but there's few tracks that I like so far. Cold, War, Old News, African Queen. Obviously, that's the one you will listen to there.
Yeah, that's
but the thing that I have, I'm going to talk to you real quick about this before we go in. We start here. Okay, this is the pre-start. The problem that I have with Irish rappers is nowadays the kids, Irish rappers, they get stuck in between the drill music in UK and the American hip hop. Obviously, you know the flows are different. You understand? And then you know the American ways is different. So obviously, like when you go to the likes of J Ronick, if you listen to J Ronick as well, you get the same thing. When you get like the American version and you get like the UK version. Like this kid, Young Shakur, for example. If you listen to the first song, that Cold, he has his American flow going.
Yeah.
And then you listen to tracks like Old News and stuff like that. He has a UK flow flowing in there. Now I don't know. It's just because we're in Ireland. And there's not a basic, there's not an original flow that comes from here that's represented here, original music or something. I don't know. You did music.
I don't know. I suppose for me, the way I look at it, I mean, look, you can take any artist on the planet, right? Obviously, you take an influence off of someone, right? Like, look, okay, so I'll give you an example. It's been said that Jay-Z kind of took influence off of Biggie, and there's original Jay-Z material where you hear a little bit of Biggie. Do you know what I mean? In deliverance and actually in where he articulates. So I suppose it's down to what someone is influenced by.
Yeah.
And I mean, the UK industry has been booming for a while, so it's natural that someone from here.
I guess it's okay if you give him like best of the boat or whatever, the way they say. Yeah, that's cool. But anyway, bro, I don't know if you got any feedbacks. I don't know how you went through the podcast, but it's been only like, I mean, we released it on Thursdays. We already released the podcast on Thursday. It's been 2 days. I got a few feedback already, man. Seriously, I'm gonna let you know. Listen, there was people that came back to us actually. Let me look into my phone, man. Where's this feedback? They were we were getting corrected for things that we said on the pod, right? Because like we spoke, I think at one point we spoke about like the Vietnam War and all that kind of stuff when we were talking about America a lot. And then there was people that was like correcting us. They were like, first of all, the Vietnam War began in 1955, 1945. I don't know if that's correct. Is that true? Bro, my history is a bit scrappy and stuff like that. And there was mad people that came in, they were championing the Black History Month thing. Yeah. Like back and forth. They wrote to us, and then obviously there was someone there to reply. But they were championing the whole Black History Month, how Americans celebrate it, Canadians celebrate Asian thing. But then, bro, I don't want to get into it too much. If you guys are into that kind of stuff, you guys do it. But all I'm going to say, you understand, we shouldn't be.
And it's good to have this kind of feedback, because obviously that's how we carry this conversation. Because look, my perception of something might be a bit foggy, or it might be I might be biased because of my own experience.
That's
but
right.
then if someone comes along and they give you the perception of the same idea, you never know, might change your mind.
There was what you call where some people came up. Obviously they were talking about saying it's hard to keep up with you. Because like you obviously that was like a first time that we really sat thing, and spoke about things and stuff like that. Obviously we spoke about more. It's gonna be out in different podcasts and stuff. and you were like you were all over the place. I have to say you were here, you were there, and I had to kind of like coordinate you. You understand? But anyway, it just goes to say, like, you know, with time anyway, we're gonna get better at this anyway.
Oh yeah,
you know?
I think out of the feedback, it's there's one that you sent me. Let me see what your man said. He said something. I think it had something to do with. Remember we spoke about.
Yeah, he spoke about black people being more racist.
And I like how he put it. He said something like it's.
You say not that you can have a single race cannot be more racist than the other race.
Yeah, something like that. And
if you're racist, is racist.
Yeah, and you know what? Shout out to whoever that boy is.
I think Richie is the one. Richie is the one who said it. Yeah,
I
didn't mean to name drop you, man. Richie is a close friend of mine, so
I do agree with what he had to say. And you know what? Yeah, shout out, mate. Yeah, I totally agree.
Because he said one race can be racist, more racist than the other race. It's just pure racism. That's it. Full stop.
Yeah.
When it's racism, that's just pure racism. That's it. Full stop.
He said, "That's a dumb question, PJ. How can an entire race be called any one thing, yet alone racist?" And I totally agree. But then I suppose again, things can be taken out of context. But no, you know what? On that one, yeah. I agree with him.
All right, cool. Listen, let me get all the shout out of the way. Listen, I don't know if any of us or any of you guys know, but I want to give a shout out, a special shout out to all the people battling breast cancer. As we know, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're nearly at the end of October. Most people are distracted with Halloween, decorating the Christmas trees, while most people are really out there battling cancer, chemotherapy, and all that kind of stuff. Some people are cancer survivors, you know, breast cancer survivor, females, and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, shout out to them. They are the real superheroes, you know. And I just wanted to give a shout out because this month is so overshadowed by all the distractions and stuff. Black History Month, whatever, man. Listen, I'm just saying what I feel.
And I think he's
COVID is just overshadowing everything. You understand?
And I think the most important thing here, the other thing to point out, and I think a lot of people might not know this, but breast cancer does not just affect females.
I didn't know that, but go ahead.
Even fellas can actually get breast cancer. Yes.
For real?
Yes.
Oh man, that's nice to know.
So when we talking about breast cancer, I mean, it's important for fellas as well to go and get checked out. If you know if you feel you have a lump or you know somewhere on your breast region, or go and get checked out, because you never know, you might have breast cancer.
Yeah, that's just not them reps in the gym, man. I also wanted to give a shout out to this. I know you said we need to chill on this one. I don't have all the information that I have, but I've been talking to a few of the friends that know people or know the experience of this SARS. Man, I wanted to talk about the movement that's going on now and SARS.
Enlighten me. What do you know about that? Because I've seen loads on social media around this, but I've not really read up that much on it. So
I looked up on some of the stuff, not a lot, but I looked up on some of the stuff. I'm not going to be ignorant. It's something to do with SARS. Apparently is a police task force assigned to basically go after they would say probably Yahoo boys or something like that. You know, criminal minds in Nigeria and all that kind of stuff. But it's got to a point where they're just killing every young man that they see. They're just picking up everybody at random. I don't know what causes this movement. I don't know if it's like I don't know what they tell them in the station. Just go out there, pick up any young man. So they're killing loads of people.
I think that's the problem. People. That's the problem we have in the world. Mainly, you know, now I could be totally wrong, but when it comes to our presidents back home and the regimes back home, once you stand for something that goes against what they stand for, right? They're not just gonna throw you in prison. Oh no, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna do something so sinister like that.
They picking up people that don't even know anything about. They're picking up, like, you know, young adults, kids that are coming up nowadays. You can dress nice or whatever. I heard something from like one youth who was speaking in London. He said, whatever, you can dress nicely, they'll think you're automatically doing you know, Yahoo things, you know. But if anybody doesn't know what Yahoo is, basically is we're talking about credit card scam and all that kind of stuff. You know, they automatically think that you're doing that. You understand? And they go out there, arrest you, and then they kind of like, you know, they're killing these kids. You understand? And I'm familiar with, like, because in Congo, in Angola, you have this type of like a militia where they go out there, they start killing kids. You understand? And it's quite sad, you know, to see this. You know, you thought there was like first the police brutality in America, and then you have this thing going on.
You have this thing,
you know,
which is sad. I mean, when you think about it, right? And again, I'm not condoning credit card scams, right? But you have to think about it from this perspective, right? Someone that has brains enough, right, to play with someone's credit card from across the globe, right? You know, so I mean, say I'm right here, and someone in Nigeria scams me, right?
Yeah.
Do you don't think that a person like that, if we channel that mind and put that mind to good use, right, instead of villainizing.
What's good use? Describe good use.
Look, how many right now the world is become computer based, and that's what they base.
So, but some people, but I think I blame this. Like, have you like I'll go back home, and you know you can go to Germany, you can go to France, you can go to Switzerland, you can go to different places, right? I don't know about Ireland per se, but probably Dublin can relate to this. But you see people dress however they like, black, white, or whatever. They'll just have a different swag. If you watch me when I'm on holidays, I'm just totally different. I have, you know, some completely different about me and stuff like that. I just have, you know, I just like to be free out there. You understand? Fam, you can wear whatever you want. No one will judge you for it. You go back home, everybody wants to be flashy. Everybody wants to be. And now, when you say, oh no, you can put it to good use. Like all these people, all they want to say is, I want to be able to look for approval. I want to be able to look for, I watch these TV stars on TV. I follow them. You know, isn't that where the hush puppies come? Yeah. You know, Instagram, which makes it worse. You want to be able to show off your money. You want to be able to show off this. So you're going to look for a quick way for you to make money. You're not just going to say, oh, I'm going to sit there in this computer, wait for the government to pay me every month and stuff like that. Why should I do that when I can go make money quick like this and, you know, live my life short? You know, that kind of thing.
I can understand that mentality. But I suppose, look, I think as it is with everything, if it's almost like having a child, right? And you start to realize that your child is slowly beginning to catch a temper. You know, they get really angry, they throw stuff, right? I mean, in most cases, if you channel that anger and you put him in sports or something like that, that might help. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying this is
they have to want to. Understand? But I say all this to say, listen, hashtag end SARS, you understand? Rest in peace to all the great young people that fell victim to this, this thing that's not just happening now. I think 2020 is really like kind of like, open all the curtains, unveiling everything, because I don't think for us going through this pandemic, I don't know if this would have been unveiled, in 2020 like this, but like, thank God all the guys out there. I see Wizkid, I see Tiwa Savage, all the musicians from Afrobeat, you see all these people coming now and basically saying to end SARS. Anyway, okay. Now that we have all that sad stuff out of the way, man. Seriously, Fam, how you doing? First of all, I have to ask you, man.
I'm good. It's been a weird couple of days for me. I mean, with the government talking about level 5 and all of these.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, as it is already, we've had enough of being at home and all of these. And I suppose I don't know how people are gonna cope. Should we go into level 5? Because
what's level 5? I read it, but I just want you. I don't know if you know it. I want you to break it down to the people. Like I seen that. Well, I can break it down for if you wish. You obviously get no visitor whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
You I don't think there's any outdoor sports. There's no outdoor
No,
sports.
all the pubs will go
Yeah,
back to
yeah. Lockdown.
to lockdown, and
Level
the
5 is
restaurants.
basically how we started. Basically
Yeah.
how we started. And only the essential shops will be open. So the likes of Tesco, Lidl, any of those small business guys, they will lose all of that because they will just back up. I don't have all the information, but I think I don't know what the numbers are. You understand? I've been outside the country and I've seen how they operate. In France, for example, in the city center, everyone else is wearing a mask. But once you get to the pub, when you're ordering your drink, order with a mask. When you sit down, remove the mask. In the main city center area, everyone else mask up. In Germany, some places, if you go to some places like in Munich and all that kind of stuff, it's high. In Berlin, there's no clubs open, there's pubs open. But if
No
you go,
clubs.
if you go to Hamburg, oh, they don't give up. Yo, they don't care over there. They
Really?
Fam,
They're still ripping it up.
Fam, listen, full street, you have full like tourists coming through there because they have reeperbahn and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you get mask when you go to shops, public transport mask. When you go to shops, mask. They stop selling alcohol at 8 o'clock at night. But from when you go to a nightclub, you are listening to music, fine. The only thing you can't do when you start dancing, security is kind of going to come, okay, stop dancing, if you're dancing with someone, you understand? But then again, everybody's in the same
Everyone is in the same same space. So it again, for me, look, I've watched over social media. There's been so many protests in Dublin. Anti-masks, anti-vaccination. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm against anything, because look, everyone has their reason behind what they stand for. But I think when we're faced with situations like this, the numbers are rising. It makes no sense for people to be out there protesting. Yeah, you have the right to peacefully protest. It's within your constitutional rights. But I think sometimes there's where common sense beats rights. Do you know what I mean?
But isn't that freedom of speech of the right to say whatever you want to say, or what? I don't know what's the constitutional right, whatever that is. You understand? Doesn't that come to play?
I have the right. Okay, so I have the right constitutionally. I have the right to say whatever it is that I want to say. But you're not gonna catch me cursing my mama out.
Yeah, that's true.
Though it's within my right.
COVID is not my mama, though. I'm just saying. I'm not being biased. So I'm playing the devil's advocate.
But you see where I'm going with this. So I think maybe there might be better ways of protesting these whatever agendas they have going on. There might be better ways of doing that, because look, yeah, they've protests, but what changes has there been? And the numbers are still rising to the extent.
But you know what's funny though? When we started this whole COVID-19 and everything, what's funny is people said, listen, when we started this whole thing, there was no mask to be seen around. People were going in the shop without mask, and we were on lockdown. Then we came off that lockdown there, and everyone had to wear mask in this place. Now that everybody's wearing mask, we're going back on lockdown. It's like we're going backwards. To be honest, I don't know what's going on.
I don't understand it. To be quite honest, I don't understand it. I did read something. Now I can't say whether or not this is based on facts or what the situation is. This particular person was talking about that it's in a virus nature to evolve, so if you introduce masks, apparently it will find a way of going. So the whole article was,
what is this, a smart virus? What's going on?
Look, they'll say
that AI. Unless this is an AI, man.
They'll say that, and he'll give you cases in study. They're like, look at the HIV virus. When you compare the HIV virus from when we first saw the HIV virus, it will kill someone just like that, and that's facts, right? But his analogy is this: that the virus naturally needs the host. So it will get to a point, it will evolve and get to a point where it can live with it, because it depends on the host. So it will get to a point where it does not kill the host, but it just chills in there so it can survive.
Yeah.
Now, again...
With medicine, right?
Yeah, well, obviously.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know how true this is. I just read an article, so there'd be lots of things
Unless
out
it's
there.
a legit article and stuff, like, you understand. I don't know, to be honest, much about COVID. To be honest, the first time when this thing happened, I didn't know what to do. I stayed home for about 3 weeks. I had to go out because when they were saying we're going to lockdown, I ran down to the shops, got everything that I needed, locked myself in the house. That was pretty much it. It was new for everyone, obviously.
And everyone was afraid.
You understand? It was cool at first. For me, I was, I'm working from home. I can just do this and that stuff. After a while, it just got boring. And after a while, then it just got more boring. After a while, then it got sad. Then after that, it got depressed. And then obviously after that, everything got much worse because of things that happened within my life. How did you cope with it the first time, though?
I think for me, yeah, especially because I have the missus and I have my son at home.
Your child was born before COVID, isn't it?
Yeah, he was born before COVID, so he was about 6-7 months old when we went into first lockdown.
He blended in into COVID well.
No, so for me that was a lot easier because prior to COVID, I would leave the house at 7:30 in the morning. I'm back at 6 in the evening, Monday to Saturday.
Working.
Yeah, working.
Jeez.
So I barely saw him.
To you, man.
That was the plus side to the whole lockdown because I got to spend more time with my son. But I think the toughest bit for me was driving around towns and there was no one in the streets. That freaked me out.
Yeah, that made you... Yeah!
That freaked me out.
You understand?
I was like, wait, hang on a minute. No,
did you drive to Waterford?
Yeah.
Bro, I drove to Waterford and the bridge was clear the first time. And I'm coming in, I met the police, and then after that I'm coming in. And usually you quite often see people around. Obviously now you have people around, but you should have seen the scene. It was super dead.
It was scary. And I remember, who did I ring? I rang one of the boys in Waterford and I'm like, yo fam, you guys still alive, right? Because this is freaky. But and I think, I think a lot of us have yet to face up to how much of an impact the whole COVID thing had on us. But I think a lot of us got a little bit scared, a little bit depressed, and the fact that we don't know when this is gonna end
makes it worse.
It's making it worse.
Do you think people are fed up now? They're just like, yo, listen, man.
People are fed up, but then people are afraid. You could be fed up, but if you have a family at home, like I have a missus that, she has an underlying medical issue. She's diabetic. So you can't put her at risk.
Yeah.
So you have to be super careful. Do you know what I mean? So as much as you're afraid and as much as you're fed up, you have to think about you're my family first.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think didn't I hear on the radio one of the weeks there going back maybe 2-3 weeks, and they were talking about the level of domestic violence skyrocketed through.
For real?
Yeah. The level of domestic violence skyrocketed through COVID, through lockdown.
I didn't even know that though, What's that? Tell me something. Like, I don't know if we can dip into this, We can dip into this. Like, do you think that was people that didn't live with each other for that long, with COVID, with depression, put them together in that one room and...
See, and you'll be right, but look at it from this way. Now, I'm not saying this is exactly how it is, but you think about this here. If you've had your job to go to every day, right? Regardless of whether you have issues at home and whatnot and all of this, you're not spending that much time together. So if there's an underlying friction between you and your partner, and now all of a sudden, you're in the same house from Monday to Monday, week 1, week 2, week 3, and then you put in a little bit of this devil's juice
That's beer or alcohol.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, because people don't have nothing to do,
Yeah,
people were drinking a lot,
yeah.
a lot more. Hence the violence. You know, they were talking about, you know, the number of women that have rung in because their husbands are being abusive and all of this. Because obviously, yeah, there's
That's
pressure.
messed up, yeah.
There's pressure financially because
Exactly,
you're not
yeah.
making nearly as much money as you used to make. You're down a lot of money. You're sitting at home. The kids are driving you nuts. You're worried about COVID, and you're drinking a lot more.
Yeah.
So
That's messed up. I didn't know that about the domestic violence part. I actually never thought of that, you know?
and you know, I think when it comes to domestic violence, you know, and it goes both ways because there's women that are violent towards their husbands.
True.
And
It's not just males.
no, but in most cases, people that are experiencing domestic violence, they're actually very quiet about it. Because how am I gonna come to you and be like, "Fam, my wife smacks the shit out of me when I'm out." You know, that shit is
Yeah, yeah,
embarrassing.
yeah.
So you walk around like everything is alright, but
you probably males don't talk about it much.
oh no,
Yeah.
especially males, and you know how we are as
Yeah,
males. We afraid of any emotion attached to us. We don't face no emotions because it's seen as a sign of
Weakness, yeah,
You know?
that's true. That's true. Yeah, I didn't think of that way. Like, you understand? Obviously, for me, it was way worse. I'm not gonna go on about it. Like, you understand? My father passed away. I didn't want to add more.
Yeah.
That was like adding more fuel into it. I was like, I needed to get out. And little did I know, I was going to stay with family. But the places where I went, it was just basically like it was not closed here, but it was open. You know, like I said, it was like, you know, probably nightclubs open there, bars and stuff like that, and that was a bit of a distraction. You understand? For me to go there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it takes, to be honest, I want to be able to talk to people about regarding this. To be honest, it takes a very strong-minded. Even people that are going through this, they can do this. It takes a very, you know, you have to train yourself, create a very strong-minded for you, especially if you're alone, for you to survive in this situation. Because it's not just a case of just like it's one of those things that it will pass or anything like that. Nobody knows when this is going to be over. We don't have all the answers.
No.
You understand? And it came down to basically in this time of COVID, you either find out who your friends really are, or you made stronger connections with your friends.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Stronger bond or anything like that. And obviously, probably some people started new friendship and everything like that. Talk to people. Listen. Talk to people. Read a book. I don't know if you have any other advice. Draw or whatever. Go for walks. Develop a new thing. I took up yoga and I started doing my workout. I found out I didn't. Yeah, bro. I took up yoga. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I found out I was very stiff. I took up yoga and I found out that I can do all my workouts basically at home or in the park. And I didn't need a gym membership. Well, it's always nice to go to the gym.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I was like, yo, bro,
for the
listen.
social aspect. And,
Yeah.
and again, you see that's the thing with us as human beings. We're social creatures. So if say we go into another lockdown, right? Spending you think about this. You spend 3 weeks inside of your house without seeing someone or anyone. See what that would do to your mind. And that's the trick behind lockdown. I mean, someone did say, I'm not quite sure who exactly said this, they did say that the outcome of COVID, for whenever we get through this, the mental effect it's after having on a lot of people, we're gonna see this in years to come.
Yeah, do you think the aftermath will be worse? Because listen, just to be on the funny side there, on the plot, well, not plot side, but listen, I have a few factors of mine. They're not proven, but I think that, you know, few people, there's more thirstiness. A lot of people, obviously, there's going to be a lot of babies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's gonna be babies everywhere. COVID babies. Well, not really the actual virus, but like that were born during that time.
Oh yeah.
You understand? there's a lot of thirstiness. There's a lot of people broke up with each other. Like a lot of people just figured out like, yeah, you are not for me.
I can't
you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a lot of people. There's a lot of availability. If you guys don't know, there's a lot. I can speak for that. Now I'm only joking.
Oh, you just spoke on it. You just spoke on it, fam.
Listen, fam. We got a few more minutes, man, for us to wrap this up. But listen, but that's pretty much it. Like I think I don't know if you have any other takes, any positivity that you can give to people, because we have to lift people's mind. That's what we do.
I think what we need to focus on most is that human connection. You know, like say for instance, we went back into lockdown, pick up a phone, have that TikTok chat with someone or whatever, or that Skype chat with someone. Just stay in contact with people and don't be afraid to speak on, you know, when you feel sad. Like for me, I'll come out correct. If I'm feeling low, I'll ring one of the lads and I'm like, man, today
talking about is the better thing. Like talking about is the better thing. You understand? You'll be surprised, you know, when you talk to someone, you know, the weight you can get off when you like, you know, you just talk to someone. It's just basically, you know, you're letting that whole thing go, because the longer you hold on to that, is the more you suffer. Don't let anybody lie to you.
And it builds up and it builds up, and before you know it, you snap.
Yeah.
And that's never safe. So and like you were saying, pick up, try and do some exercise. There's yoga, and everything is online right now. You can access videos on YouTube. You can do stuff yourself. Do a bit of physical exercise that way, because what the physical exercise does for your mind, it conditions it to it releases those endorphins.
Stay sharp as well.
So do a bit of exercise, and if you're gonna drink, don't make it a daily routine.
Overdo it, yeah. Cause like just on the exercise, man, I had a quote that I wanted to say from the guy called Jordan Peterson. I don't know, from the UK. He said, "Your brain suffers the most if you're not in shape." So basically, you need to keep your brain sharp. You can be 60 years old, but if you're in very good shape, you can have a brain of a 30-year-old.
Oh yes.
Not my words, his. Jordan Peterson. If you have a time, look him up. Anyway, listen, I think this is our time. Speaking of time, yo, listen, man, thanks very much for coming in here one more time. Give out your social, man. Are you on people ask, is this guy on Instagram? Guys, I don't want you to harass your own, man. I'm joking.
No, do you know what? Yeah, like I am on Instagram. I'm a little bit of a technophobe, so I'm not too much in the social media, because my thing has become this. I think social media creates these images in people's heads that people think, oh yeah, this person is always happy this way, and so I try to refrain from social media as much as possible. But yeah, hit me up on Instagram, Jerome K. I'll be on there. I'm on Facebook as well, Jerome K. one more time, and other than that, we keep vibing like always.
You heard it, Jerome K on Instagram. Listen, me as always, yours truly, the boy, yours truly with the number 2, RULY, the boy. Talk2 podcast on Instagram, on Facebook, and also subscribe and like on YouTube. Don't have context there. Like I say, people, I am coming. We are coming.
And we're gonna keep post those comments coming. We love to hear from you.
Yeah, I like this. I like this feedback. I like this feedback. One more time, shout out to Young Shakur for his new album. You understand? Kind of has like a weird, not a weird, but his whole title on it, I didn't really get it. But
what's the title of the album?
Hold on, let me look it up again. I have it here on my Spotify playlist. The title is Greater Than, but greater than who though? And it has like, just real quick before we go, it has the whole waterfall in the back. You understand? Greater Than, it has the whole waterfall in the back. Obviously, he's rapping waterfall. I'm really happy for this album.
It'd be interesting to figure out what was his thoughts behind the cover picture of the album,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
name behind the album,
Bro,
because
we're gonna, well, you know what? I'm gonna make few calls. We're gonna get him here. No worries, man. We're gonna get him here. Let's sign out. You understand? We're gonna make a few calls. We're gonna get Young Shakur here to speak on it. Okay, you guys go listen to the album on Spotify or not. It's your choice. It's called Greater Than, Young Shakur, YUNG. Shakur, like Tupac Shakur. You already know how it is. Okay, Talk2 podcast, and me and
that's
Jerome
our
are
time.
out.